Geometry, we are learning lesson 3.1. We're starting a new chapter, so module 3.1. These are kind of fuzzy. They didn't copy very well, but this is our vocab, like word bank. Alternate exterior angles, parallel lines, same side interior angles, alternate interior angles. Those are close, but different. We'll talk about those in just a minute. Parallel lines, skew lines. We've kind of already talked about some of these. Corresponding angles, a plane, and a transversal. So, number one, choose from the list above that best represents the item in each box. Okay, they're talking about the shaded sides here. So these two sides would be parallel planes. They're definitely parallel, and they're the whole side of the box. So these would be parallel planes. All right, the next picture shows these arcs that are way up here and way out here, and they're on two outside angles of these parallel lines. So what these are alternate, and they're exterior because they're outside of the parallel lines. Think of the parallel lines as being like a building, and these angles are exterior, they're outside the building. So these would be, and they're alternate because they're on two different sides of this line that I'm going to call a transversal, which these are my parallel lines. This is a transversal. We'll talk about that here in a minute. And since these are on two different sides of the transversal, they are representing two alternate, and again, outside, so exterior angles. Alternate, exterior angles. Okay, number 3, we've talked about this a lot, especially in chapter 1. This is just a plane. Number 4 is interesting. So they're definitely inside the parallel lines. So it's definitely going to be something interior angles, but we've got a couple of options here. We have same side interior, or we have alternate interior. So between these two, I want you to look closely. Alternate would be kind of like zigzagged. They would also be congruent to each other. So alternate would be like this angle and this angle up here. So they would be alternate, like kind of crisscrossed on either side of the transversal line. Instead, they're actually on the same side of this transversal line. They're both on the left side of it. So that is why these are called same side interior angles. They're interior of the parallel lines, but they're on the same side of the transversal line. Okay, number 5 we talked about in chapter 1 as well. These are two non-parallel lines that will also never intersect, and they're called skew lines. Number 6, actually, I'm going to come back to number 6 because I think that'll be easier to explain once we finish, like, for example, number 9 down here. So number 7 is the dark line right here. I've already referenced it a few times, but it is the transversal. And a transversal is a line that cuts through a set of parallel lines. And you know these are parallel because they've got little triangles marked up on them, and that shows that there are two parallel lines. So the dark line is the transversal that cuts through the two parallel lines. Kind of already just gave this away, but if there are two lines marked with little arrows on them, that means that they are representing parallel lines. And then number 9, so here's our parallel lines. What you notice is the angles they're referencing are inside the parallel lines, which means they're interior. And they're alternate because they're on different sides of the transversal. So they're alternate interior angles. Okay, that takes me back up to number 6. Number 6 is neither alternate interior or exterior because one happens to be exterior of the parallel lines and one happens to be interior of the parallel lines. So it's like one of each. So there is a unique name for this. It's basically when you've got the same exact angle in the same exact position, just kind of moved further down along the transversal line, and it is called corresponding. So this is the one that kids tend to forget. So corresponding is when it's in the same location of the other exact angle when you're looking at two sets of parallel lines and you're just going further down the transversal line. All right, turn the page. It says reteaching, but really we're kind of just learning it. Let's skip down to where it says exercises. So shade one set of parallel planes, doesn't matter which ones. Trace one set of parallel lines with a solid line. So solid line, doesn't matter, pick two parallel lines. Okay, then it says trace one set of skew lines with dashed. So just pick, I mean, these are not hard. You guys have done this before. So there's one, and maybe here's one. It's just checking your vocabulary right now. All right, number 4 says name a line that is parallel to line RS. So RS is back here, a line that would be parallel to it, not the only option, but I'm going to put line TU. That's just an example. A line that's skew to line QU, QU. A line that's skew to this one might be like line PN. A plane that is parallel to NRTP. NRTP. So they're talking about this one over here, and they want you to pick a plane that is parallel to it. That would be plane, this one, QOSU. QOSU. Okay, and then it says name 3 lines that are parallel to line OQ. So this one is what we're looking at, and they want 3 that are parallel. So that would be NP, RT, and SU. All right. In exercises 8 through 11, describe the statement as true or false. If it's false, explain. So plane HIKJ, these 2 lines here mean are parallel to. So this is the symbol, if you're not sure, this is the symbol for meaning parallel. Okay, so plane HIKJ is parallel to plane IEGK. Let's look at that and see. It looks like those 2 planes are not parallel. In fact, I think they are this other word, which I'm going to write down here. This symbol means perpendicular. And if you've forgotten, perpendicular means they meet at right angles. So this is going to be no or false. And the reason is because we'll just put this symbol. They're perpendicular, not parallel. Okay, pause the video and try 9, 10, and 11, and then turn it back on and see if you got the answers correct. All right, for 9, you should have gotten that this is a yes. For 10, you should have gotten, once again, false. Oh, why did I put yes? So true on 9, true. False because, once again, they're perpendicular, not parallel. And then 11 is false, but this time it's because they were skew. Okay, last page is the other 3.1, and this is a diagram showing lines A and B that are intersected. Lines A and B are intersected by X. So these are going to be, even though A and B are not parallel, X is still considered a transversal because it cuts through the 2 other lines. So the lines that are formed are either interior angles or exterior angles, and interior angles are exactly what it sounds like, the ones that are inside lines A and B. So that would be like 3, 4, 5, and 6. Those are all interior. And then the ones that are exterior are outside of the lines. So that would be like 1, 2, 7, and 8. We already talked about alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side interior, corresponding. Those are all on that first page if you need to review. So knowing that, let's look down at the exercises. Name all corresponding angles. So if you forgot, corresponding is the one, these are hard to remember. Oops, where is it? Corresponding are the ones that are kind of in the same spot. If you looked at a 360 circle, it's in the same spot as the other 360 circle, so they are corresponding. So the corresponding angles that you should see in the figure off to the right here are, get ready to write, angles 1 and 5 are corresponding because they're both in that top left spot. So angles 1, oops, I'll just put angle 1 and angle 5. That's supposed to be an and. Angle 1 and 5, comma, angle 2 and 6. Angles 4 and 7. And then angles 3 and 8. All right, name all pairs of alternate interior. So interior are just going to be these 4, 3, 5, and 6, but alternate means they're kind of like crisscrossed in opposite spots. So they would be angles 4 and 6 and 3 and 5. So angle 4 and angle 6, angle 3 and angle 5. All right, same side interior. So we're looking at interior again. So our choices are 4, 3, 5, and 6. But now we're looking at same side. So the same side of this transversal line. That would be 3 and 6, and then 4 and 5. So angle 3 and 6, angle 4 and 5. All right, and then the last one is talking about exterior. Alternate exterior. So exterior are going to be 1 and 2, 7 and 8. And again, alternate kind of means crisscross, like 2 and 7 and 1 and 8. So angle 2 and angle 7, angle 1 and angle 8. All right, last ones. Decide whether the angles listed are alternate interior, same side interior, corresponding, or alternate exterior. So let's look at 1 and 5. So angle 1 and angle 5 is what they're talking about. These are definitely, actually push pause and try these two on your own. Okay, angles 1 and 5 are definitely exterior, and they're kind of crisscrossed apart from each other, so they're alternate exterior. All right, and then the last two, 4 and 6, that is this one and this one. These are definitely both interior. They're inside the parallel lines, and they're also on the same side of that transversal line. So these are same side interior angles.